Oh man, nice man, real nice. So, guess what? YouTube and fellow gamers alike, EA is pissed. Like EA is mad. EA is hot, and I'm thinking like, well, man, why are y'all so upset? Like, why are you so angry? Y'all like the biggest company in the entire world. Like, y'all are huge. Like EA is big. They even had a company called EA Big back in the day, and they got killed off. So, which that's going to bring me to a point here eventually. That's going to bring me to one of my points here. So, a lot of people probably thinking, why is EA so mad? Why are they angry by the news they're getting? Well, I was looking at an article, and apparently EA has been voted one of the worst companies uh, in America. Now, like my thing is, this was back in September. This is supposed to be back in September of 2016. Um, Says EA was voted as the worst company in America, and they got a Golden Poo Award. Poo, Golden Poo, Golden Poo. Yeah. So it's my thing is EA has done a lot of shady stuff, especially like in the past like 3 4 years. Um, EA has been doing some crazy. Um, and like whether it's like giving somebody like minimal content for like a ridiculous amount of money, or if they're hot, what they'll do is they've been encroaching on a lot of companies lately, and then they'll take them in, and then once they get what they need out of them, they'll fire everybody. They'll pretty much disband that entire side company. They did that to one of my favorite companies that I was bragging to a lot of people. I was like, man, I was like, BioWare. BioWare is the company, and BioWare. I'm like, BioWare has not made a bad game. I don't even like Star Wars. I think I've told you guys this a lot on this channel, and I know a lot of like Star Wars fans are gonna get y'all's panties in a bunch. But Star Wars, like as much as I don't like Star Wars, I own the first and the second Knights of the Old Republic. I love those games. Those are my favorite Star Wars games. The Force Unleashed, no, it's all about the Knights of the Republics. So I'm sorry, I was a little disappointed in Force Unleashed a little bit, but the Knights of Republics 1 and 2, damn near flawless games. So like when I'm sitting here playing this, I'm like, man, these are great games. And then like they turn around, they release Jade Empire, great game. I also had that for the Xbox. Jade Empire is amazing. Uh, the only games I have not played by Bioware are the Dragon Age games. I haven't played any of those, but I heard those are really good too. And then I'm a huge fan of the Mass Effect series. So I was like, man, I had all three Mass Effect games. I had all three of them. My Mass Effect is amazing. Like, this is a really good series. And then I think I did a video back in, I think it's back in the summer of this year, that I was going to be doing commentary and playing Mass Effect Andromeda, the fourth Mass Effect game that was coming out, because I was so. And I like when these hating ass people out here. I'm sorry. I love the third Mass Effect too. I really like the third one. Third one was good, but so I was geeked for the fourth one. I'm like, yo, like the fourth one's gonna be really good. And then I heard it was taken over completely by EA, because I saw the EA stamp on the second and the third game. And I'm like, oh, here goes EA again, trying to get their hand in everything. And then I heard nothing but okay, like mediocre to like bad reviews for Mass Effect 4. And I'm like, of course, because it's EA. Because EA pretty much owns it. Like, that is EA's property now. EA can do whatever they want. They can release Andromeda 2 and it could be worse than the last Andromeda that came out. Because EA now owns a company that BioWare once had, or a property, I should say, that BioWare once owned and now is owned by EA. So they can release it whenever, however they want to. Because that's their property. And then they pretty much killed off BioWare. So I'm like, man, like, you guys are the worst company to work for. So for them to get mad that, like, they are pegged the worst company ever, it's like, okay, well, y'all do some shady stuff, like, y'all hiring these people with like creative visions and everything, and it's about money to y'all. Like, now y'all are creative, y'all all about the money. Y'all about how much money can I make off this company? How much money can I make off this company? Well, let's take their franchise from them. Let's buy it from underneath them. Let's fire them so we're not paying them anymore, and then we just take all the proceeds from that property, and then they don't have to see it anymore. And I think that's messed up. I mean, yeah, of course you're going to be voted. To me, you're the worst company. I mean, I want to dog or nothing, but I've seen the long history that EA has done. EA has even done some like really uh, some grimy practices to their players. Apparently, what I heard recently is they're trying to do like a Madden subscription because I mean, hell, y'all bought that property from 2K and everybody else. I mean, y'all didn't want 2K or nobody else touching it. You're like, no, only us, only we can be responsible for NFL games, and I think that's crazy. Um, I think that is very crazy that y'all are doing practices like that. Um, I'm gonna actually go up here too because I don't want to get my facts right or wrong about a certain thing too. But I think I heard like there was the whole thing about Star Wars Battlefront. Um, so let's see here. I'm trying to think because there was something with Star Wars Battlefront. Um, man, yeah, there's a Star Wars Battlefront controversy with EA. I'm sorry, I'm taking a while here to pull this up, but you know I don't come prepared to these videos. Um, all right, so yeah, the Battlefront EA controversy. I wish I knew how to pull this up so y'all can actually see it with me, but let's see. Let's see here. I think it was something like I think it has something to do with like them giving you like a partial game or something like that. And you're free to correct me in the comments below. But yeah, I think I heard something like EA was gonna like do like a partial game, and if you want the rest of the game, they're gonna make you pay for it. Um, okay, yeah, it was okay. So this was pretty much like it was on in-game purchases in Star Wars Battlefront 2. So I guess this one was gonna allow players to uh, either you could run through the game and unlock Darth Vader, but it would take you a while, or it was a microtransaction where you could pay extra money to just to pretty much unlock major characters. One of them being Darth Vader. Um, let's see here. Let's see here. This is a thing I'm reading. It's talking about how Wall Street is worried because EA's sales dropped on it, and a lot of people canceled their pre-orders. Um, and then there's a guy who tweeted. Okay, I'm gonna read. Some guy named DM Brandon with an exclamation point at the end of his name. He tweeted, "I'm canceling my pre-order for Battlefield or for Battlefield. I got Battlefield on the brain. I'm canceling my pre-order for Battlefront 2. EA has locked iconic characters behind a 40-hour play wall. That's also if I don't spend the in-game currency on anything else. Their response to our anger shows they don't care. And then this is at Disney. Please get EA away from Star Wars ASAP. Um. So yeah, man. I guess I guess EA was kind of doing some basically for lack of a better term, they was doing some fuck shit with Battlefield with Battlefront 2 to where they were basically charging people extra for for like all the in-game stuff for Battlefield or for the Star Wars Battlefront whatever. Like if you want like extra characters, like I think it was Darth Vader, Luke Skywalker, um, Han Solo. It was just like if you wanted all these characters, you had to pay extra money. Um, and then on top of that, they from and again from my understanding, they didn't give you a complete game. They only gave you a partial game. They say, hey, if you want the rest of this game, you have to spend all this money to get the rest of the game. And people are like, hell no, I'm not paying. So pretty much, I think they were paying like they were charging like almost 100. I think it was $150 to $200 for the full game. Like if you want everything in the game, you had to pay about $150 to $200. And I don't think I'm exaggerating. I think that was the actual deal. So that's crazy, man. Like so that's just one of my examples of EA just being an evil company. That and you buying up these other companies and then you're releasing their game as a mediocre product or not even a good product at all. Y'all just slapping something out because it has that name on it and y'all just want money. I feel like I feel like you know what I'm saying? You guys are like the evil empire of video games now. Like, you know, you got these little companies actually sitting here putting some effort into their games or whatever, and then y'all have like no creative integrity. So y'all strip everything that made that game good, and then y'all turn around and try to mess that game up. I think there's another company I'm trying to buy too. I know I'm about to go on my one of my searches again, y'all. But yeah, there was another company that they're trying to buy recently, and I think the company turned EA down. Uh, let's see here, because I'm starting to think too, man. Like EA is just like one of the worst companies, one of the worst video game companies ever. Um, let's see here. I'm gonna type in EA tries to buy. Oh man, who was the name of that company? Okay. Yeah, I think I heard about this too. I think they tried to buy Valve. Yeah, they actually tried to buy Valve a few years ago for $1 billion. Uh, yeah, they tried to get Valve. So, but the thing with Valve and EA is Valve actually makes quality games that EA doesn't. Like EA does not care to make quality games, and Valve does. Half Life 2 is like one of the best games I've ever played. So I mean, and then Orange Box was amazing too because it came with all those games, including like, of course, the Half Lives, and then it came with Team Fortress, like that, and it came with Portal. So I mean, it came with all those amazing games. Uh, but EA was trying to buy them out like crazy. EA, let's see here. Oh, okay. But yeah, Valve is valued around $2.5 billion. So, so they're thinking that Valve might be the one that buys EA out. Um, yeah, that's just an article that I'm reading. So, yeah, man, EA is trying to like go around and try to acquire as many of these companies as they can. To keep in business. And then what they're going to do is, so they don't have to pay the employees in that business, they disband that company. They completely fire them. For short, they fire that company and everybody in it, so that way they can have complete rights to that property, and then they can try to sell it off. And I think that's wrong, man. Like that's wrong. Like, because you have these companies with like a very creative vision, and they're putting out good games, and gamers are buying their games because they are good games. You know, it just threw me off when I saw EA's logo on Mass Effect 2. I was like, what's going on with this? Because Mass Effect 2, the first Mass Effect didn't even have the EA logo on it. Not one Bioware game had the EA logo on it. And then when I saw Mass Effect 2 with the EA logo, I was like, huh, what's going on here? I didn't realize that EA had bought BioWare, and then they went ahead and killed them off. So I'm like, wow, And I think they did the same thing too with the company that made Dead Space. They bought the company that made Dead Space. They bought them out, and then they killed them off. Um, so yeah, like EA completely shut the doors down on the company that made Dead Space, and I'm like, wow, man, like who are you guys gonna like assimilate and destroy next? So yeah, man, this is horrible. Um, I almost don't. I'm probably gonna like. I think the only way we stop EA is like if all of us do an active movement against EA, but I don't think that's gonna happen because you have too many people that don't care about video game news or whatever. They just consumer. Your average consumer is not gonna look at the logo and go like, "Oh, that's EA. I'm not buying that." No, they're gonna be like, "That's my that." They made another Madden. They made another Need for Speed. They made another whatever property EA has. I'm gonna buy it because this is my stuff. And I mean, EA has sports games, so that's like your segue. Like that's their biggest investment is sports games. That's why they make them every year or whatever. So that's my rant on EA. EA, y'all suck really bad. Y'all are terrible. Hopefully, you get shut down so you can give these little companies with innovations some really good marketing investments, so you can let them grow and y'all can follow, man. Y'all like the evil empire. Y'all need to follow. So, all right, well that's it for this video. I ran it long enough. I ran it for almost 18 minutes. Comment, like, subscribe below, and I will see y'all as usual in the next video.